What's good, everyone? This is your boy DJ's Raw and Cut Truth. Give me that raw content that you deservedly need. And history was made for the first time in NBA history. Two brothers were selected in the top three ever. So Lonzo was drafted in 2017, as you know, number 2. And LaMelo was drafted number 3 by the Charlotte Hornets. This is impressive, and this just shows when a father has a vision, no matter if he's wrong or right, or if he makes mistakes, he's human. If you stick with the plan, good things will happen. And for the Ball brothers, they bought in, they never gave up, they were hated on, they still getting hated on. They're still getting overly critiqued by these talking heads, but they keep playing. Now, the jury is still out on Lonzo Ball, but thankfully, he's hooked up with Clutch Sports and has some great trainers. And what I'm seeing on the videos, I know it's just videos, so it's a sample size, he looks drastically improved. Remember, it's his first offseason. So I was one of the few people who were consistent with Lonzo. I said this year, 2020, 2021, is when I'll fully judge Lonzo since it's his first offseason. So I'm standing by that. Now, the jury is still out, like I said, but we'll see what happens. Of course, Lonzo has to have a higher usage rate. You can't be a starting point guard in the NBA and only have an 18.3 usage rate. For starting point guards, they had to have at least a 25% usage rate, at least. Now, the Pelicans have been drafting guards left and right, so we'll see how that goes. But I'll talk about that later on in this video. The most important part is the fact that people said that this wouldn't be done. To be honest, LaMelo would have been drafted higher if, I don't know. I think politics. That's just my opinion. Anthony Edwards is very talented, but I gotta wait and see how he plays. He stated earlier in the week that basketball wasn't really his first love, that he's more of a football guy, and if football would have drafted him this year, he would have chose football. He said this. Now, I hope Anthony Edwards excel with Minnesota. I really hope so. But if you don't love the game, that's alarming to me. And then for James Wiseman played 3 games. In those 3 games, he played against small schools. I mean, he played schools where the big man is barely 6'6", 6'7". So I didn't really get to see him play against bigs close to his height. And I know why the Warriors picked Wiseman. It's not because he has more potential and more of a ceiling than LaMelo. That's not the reason. It was politics. It was because Steve Kerr had a beef with LeVar Ball, and he didn't want to take LaMelo Ball, even though Klay Thompson, what is reported now, is out because of an Achilles injury. He's going to be out for a long time. I've talked to a lot of Warrior fans, some who really couldn't stand the Ball family, to be honest, but they have told me that they wish they would have drafted LaMelo, knowing what happened to Klay Thompson. This is back-to-back injuries. Usually in back-to-back injuries, you don't come back the same. They needed to draft a guard for insurance. They're not going to be a deep playoff team at all this year, not without Klay. They're just not. But like I always say on my videos, logic over emotion. And Bob Myers and Steve Kerr operated off emotion. I see scouts saying that James Wiseman may be the next Chris Bosh. We'll see. And again, this is nothing against Wiseman. Wiseman is a great kid. I'm happy for Wiseman and his family. They've been hated on so many times. The NCAA was trying to take away his eligibility for a reason of someone helping him to get out the hood. And I hate the NCAA for that. They make all this money from players and talent, but get mad when someone is trying to take them out of poverty, take them away from this dysfunction, give them a better life. And you're going to give a so-called player ineligibility? It's not fair. But I'm happy for Wiseman. I just disagree on the selection. You might as well should have just gone with LaMelo Ball, have him learn from Steph on the way. He'll have his growing pains. But I told a lot of people about this draft. If you're picking early, you pick the most potential. Don't think of this draft as a one-hit wonder year. Think of it as a 10-year choice. The Charlotte Hornets were smart because whatever Michael Jordan thought of LeVar Ball, he was not going to pass away that type of talent. No way in hell he was going to pass on LaMelo Ball just because LeVar Ball said he could beat Michael Jordan. And I don't know why people take that seriously, because LeVar Ball thinks he could beat everybody. He thinks he could beat his sons in basketball, for crying out loud. So I don't know why people take it seriously, but hey, that's them. But I got to give credit to Mitch Kupchak. Mitch Kupchak has learned his ways from the Lakers. Now, in the Lakers, I don't think he drafted bad. He drafted D'Lo and B.I. and Jordan Clarkson, who's a solid player, and Julius Randle, who's averaging 20 and 10. Now, you can say what you want about Julius Randle, but you know what? Averaging 20 and 10 in the NBA is not easy. So you got to give him credit for that. Now, he's with Charlotte. And this is his second year now, I believe. He's doing well again. Last year, he found a gem in P.J. Washington. P.J. Washington had a great season and was able to really put his mark on his rookie year. We talk about Zion, Ja Morant, Brandon Clark, and Tyler Hero. But what we're missing is P.J. Washington. P.J. Washington had a good year for a rookie. And if he was on a better team, he would probably get more notoriety. But I saw P.J. Washington play a couple of games. I remember when they played against the Lakers. And it was a close game. P.J. Washington was giving the Lakers the business because he's a power forward who can hit pick and pop shots. Definitely a fit for LaMelo Ball. Don't forget, the Hornets have Devonta Graham. He's shooting about 43% from three. Even though he's listed as point guard, he's usually a shooting guard in my mind, like a combo guard. And I believe him and LaMelo will create a good tandem. I always say, if you surround LaMelo with shooters and athleticism, the type of things that the Hornets have, you're going to get the best out of LaMelo. And for those who are questioning what the GM said in his press conference or the head coach, don't be alarmed. What I got from that press conference was old school approaches. Yes, LaMelo has to earn his keep like any other rookie. They told that to Devonta Graham last year. Look at Devonta Graham. He averaged almost 20 points per game. They told that to P.J. Washington this past year. P.J. Washington flourished. That's just something that Mitch Kupchak does. He usually says those things because he comes from an old school background. And besides, you don't want rookies to just get a position without working for it. The good thing is LaMelo is a hard worker, and he's always earned his keep. When he was in the NBL with the Illawarra Hawks, they told LaMelo the same thing, and LaMelo worked for it, and he flourished. Here's what we cannot do. We cannot fall prey to what the media says. Today, I listened to Colin Cowherd, what people call him Colin Cowturd, because he makes erroneous comments. He said today pretty much that LaMelo doesn't work for his, that he is given everything. That's a lie. He had to work for everything he has right now. Even though LaMelo grew up in the suburbs, it was not easy for him. The hate he receives, the negativity, his perception is because the media created it. I read a piece from the NBL about his Illawarra Hawks teammates. They admitted that even though they enjoyed LaMelo, before they met LaMelo, they viewed him what the media thought he was, until he talked with them and hung out with them, and they realized he's a great kid. They saw his work ethic. They saw how he would start shooting at 4 o'clock in the morning randomly, listening to music, shooting, working on his game, working on his handles. LaMelo has fantastic work ethic if you just listen to his previous coaches and teammates. Don't forget, Mitch Kupchak spent some time with him in Australia, talked with JJ and company, and he saw it himself. And what people don't realize, and it's been reported, out of all the top prospects who had the best workouts, they said LaMelo Ball had the best workout. The official report, not the one that said LaMelo was working out with 10 teams and he had a bad workout. That was proven to be a lie. Jonathan Gavoni and many others shut that down. That was said by Kevin O'Connor, who is a hater. So I'm glad they put the actual information out. LaMelo only worked out with 4 teams in LA. It was a couple days before the draft. The Warriors were going to take LaMelo Ball, but Steve Kerr made it adamant not to draft LaMelo Ball, even though he had the best workout out of the 3. This is the truth. You don't have to take my word. This is what, trust me. I've talked to some people now. Hey, I was right with the Charlotte pick. I made a video yesterday about LaMelo will be in Charlotte. Shines was like, how do you know this? I'm telling you, man. The good thing about YouTube, people reach out to you that you wouldn't even expect. People who are in scouting departments, who knows coaches of another coach, they'll message you and give you the lowdown of what's going on. And they were telling me, like, from then, LaMelo's going to Charlotte if everything goes through, if there's no trades. When I made a video saying that Jordan is going to pick LaMelo Ball if he's there at 3, they're like, nah, Jordan don't want to draft him. I was proven right. I'm not bragging or boasting. I'm just being honest. That's all I am. And the truth is, the coach in Charlotte, he used to be assistant coach for the Spurs. He has high IQ. And his teams in Charlotte, they play hard. And they won a couple of games that they shouldn't have won. But all they were missing was a facilitator and someone with that much dynamic creativity. That's who LaMelo Ball is. And all they have to do is make sure LaMelo Ball is involved. One thing I like with, I think his name, Coach James, he has a Hispanic name. He's like Hispanic. I'll get the name down once I get used to it, but he used to coach for the Spurs, and he was talking about LaMelo, and he said one thing about his players. He said, we would not have any players stand in the corner, I'll tell you that. That was music to my ears. He was talking about ball movement and everybody being able to move around in space and not just standing there having the offense stagnant. That's what a real offense is. I mean, do I think LaMelo will have the ultimate green light? I wouldn't say ultimate green light yet. I would say he will have a good amount of usage rate, which is just fine. Don't forget, these rookies do not have summer league. So there got to be some realistic expectations. I know you don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. That goes for all rookies in this class. Due to COVID-19 and the type of year this is, you got to make realistic expectations for all rookies. Anthony Edwards, Wiseman, LaMelo, you name it, anybody. So the coach who can simplify everything and increase a usage rate without just trying to confuse a young player will have their rookie ready to go. And I think this coach will have that ready for LaMelo. Yes, LaMelo will have growing pains here and there, but he'll make flashy plays. He'll make rookie mistakes. I'm expecting that. But this is the type of year for Charlotte just to go all out. Play fast, play hard, and live with the results. That's all they have to do. And if you do that, the citizens in Charlotte will be celebrating. Even if they barely make the playoffs, even if they didn't. Since the NBA is implementing playoff seedings to 10 seed, pretty much, a play-in game. So each conference, East and West, will have 10 seeds in a so-called playoffs. The 10 versus 7 will be a play-in game. I think they said 2 to 3 days. That's great. So the first goal for Charlotte should be to get that 10th seed, at least, in the East. If they play hard enough and win some games that they shouldn't have won, they can do that. You don't want this team to tank because tanking is a bad culture. Yes, I know next year's draft is loaded, but you don't want to tank. You want to excel and give fans some hope. Charlotte's been losing enough. I think they had like 3 playoff appearances in 17 years. So I think the fan base is tired of losing. But I can't wait to see what the team looks like. Yeah, I get it. They have a lot of guards, but they'll find a way to work it out. LaMelo's 6'7". He's still growing. He has 7'1" wingspan, 7'2". He has long arms. So they'll put him around. As long as, I don't care if they put him at the 1, 2, 3. Basketball is positionless. That's where it's heading to, so it really doesn't matter. I don't care if the Hornets play a 3-guard lineup. I've seen that happen a lot of times. So it'll be interesting, but don't judge off what the GM and coach is saying. Wait and see what it looks like first before doing that. So that's all I had to go with that. But I want to end this off by saying the media and how they picture black fathers. They got to be one way. They got to be docile. They got to be quiet. They got to realize every black man is different and how they handle it. And even if we agree to disagree, if they create some type of success, we got to give them their roses now before it's too late. And for LeVar, I'm giving him his roses because what he accomplished is not easy. Now, he had some help along the way. Thank God for Jermaine Jackson, who has been a beacon of light to the Ball family, a man who's very trustworthy. I was listening to Corey Homicide's IG live stream, and he had Jermaine Jackson on, and then he had LeVar on. And it's funny, when LeVar talks to someone real, like Corey Homicide Williams, you get the best out of LeVar. And then you realize he's not really as bad as what the media portrays him. LeVar was talking about how he was so proud of his sons defeating the odds, and he built them that way to never give up and to keep family first. And no matter what they said about his kids only cared about what his family thought. That's who LeVar is. Beneath all the media fixture and the character of LeVar, deep down in LeVar's spirit, what he is a good father that cares about his family. He also said something that the media would never talk about, but I caught it on the IG Live. He said how thankful he was for JJ, a.k.a. Jermaine Jackson, to take care of LaMelo, make sure he's there for LaMelo, because he wanted to spend time with his wife. That's why you haven't seen him on these media appearances. He wanted to be there for his wife. And Jermaine Jackson was just the type of person who can help with that. And that's why you see LeVar with Tina all the time. And Tina's getting better, extremely better. And that's because LeVar has been spending time with Tina. Remember, with COVID-19, it changes things, and Tina couldn't go to that facility because of California. You know, they got regulations on health clinics and stuff. So LeVar had to step up and be that man that he is for his wife. And you see how improved Tina is with her motor skills. And I'm so proud of her. She's a strong woman and really the glue to the Ball family. But the media never talks about this. They have an agenda. They're paid to spew hate instead of love and joy. So I'm not surprised. Before I end this show, I got to say I was listening to some hating YouTuber, and they were talking about LaMelo Ball. And they were saying that LaMelo Ball ain't going to be nothing in Charlotte. LaMelo Ball going to be done up in practice. This type of doubt fuels him. They said the same thing in the NBL. They said the NBL was too physical. LaMelo Ball wouldn't survive in the NBL because there's hand checking. But LaMelo proved them wrong. He averaged 17, 7, and 7. And he would have averaged more points and assists if his teammates could catch the ball. But hey, keep doubting him and watch him work. That's all I got to say. All praise to the Most High. Everyone have a great day. Cherish your parents. Cherish your family. The Charlotte Hornets had a great draft. I like what they're doing. That's all I got to say. Peace.